Pick up a handful of sand. Not imaginary sand. Real sand. The kind that gets into your shoes at the beach and stays there for weeks. Hold it in your palm and look at it. Really look at it. In a single handful of beach sand, there are roughly 8 billion individual grains. 8 billion. That is, almost exactly, the number of human beings alive on Earth right now. Every person who has ever brushed their teeth this morning, every child sleeping in a crib somewhere, every fisherman pulling nets before dawn, 1 grain for each of them, and it all fits in your hand. That number already feels large. Hold on to that feeling, because we are going to need it. Now look at a single grain. 1. A tiny speck of silica, maybe 0.5 millimeter across, smaller than the period at the end of this sentence. You can barely feel it on your fingertip. It seems like nothing. That grain is you, not metaphorically, not as poetry. In the comparison we are about to make, you and this planet and everything you have ever loved or feared or wondered about, we are that grain. We are not even that grain, but we will get there. First, stay on the beach. There are roughly 7.5 quintillion grains of sand on all of Earth's beaches. That number is written as a 7, followed by 18 zeros. If you tried to count 1 grain per second, without sleeping, without stopping, without eating, it would take you 250 million years. The dinosaurs didn't exist yet when you would have started counting. And yet all of those grains, every grain on every beach, on every coastline, on this entire planet are still just grains of sand. Still just a beach. Still just something you find under your towel. Now lift your eyes up. On a clear night, away from city lights, you can see roughly 5,000 stars with the naked eye. 5,000. That sounds like a lot. Standing under that sky, neck craned back, feeling small. But those 5,000 stars are a small room in a vast house. They are a single drawer in a warehouse the size of a continent. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains somewhere between 200 billion and 400 billion stars. Not 5,000, not a million, not even a billion. Hundreds of billions. The number is so large that astronomers argue about exactly how large it is, and they are arguing about a difference of 100 billion stars. If you took all the sand on all of Earth's beaches, all 7.5 quintillion grains, and tried to represent the stars in the Milky Way alone, you would run out of sand. Not just on one beach. You would run out on every beach on the planet, and you would still be short. Let that land for a second. The number of stars in just our galaxy exceeds the number of grains of sand on the entire Earth. And the Milky Way is one galaxy. There are roughly 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. 2 trillion. Which means the total number of stars in the observable universe is something so large that there is no object on Earth that can serve as a comparison. The beach breaks down. The sand runs out. The numbers stop meaning anything to the part of the brain that evolved to count berries and track prey. So here is what we are going to do. We are going to make it smaller. We are going to shrink the Milky Way down to something you can walk along. A beach. And once we do, once we draw that comparison out to its honest conclusion, you are going to understand. In your body, not just your mind, exactly where we sit in the size of things. And it is not where you think. Imagine the Milky Way is a beach. Not a small beach, a real one. Long and flat. The kind that takes 20 minutes to walk from one end to the other. Let's say it stretches for 1 kilometer. 1,000 meters of sand, sea on one side, dunes on the other, and the whole thing represents our galaxy, every one of its 200 to 400 billion stars, scaled down to fit between the parking lot and the tide. In this model, each grain of sand represents 1 star. Our sun, the massive ball of plasma at the center of our solar system, so large that 1.3 million Earths could fit inside it, is 1 grain. A single grain somewhere on that beach. Already the picture should feel uncomfortable. But where is our grain? The Milky Way is a spiral galaxy, and our sun sits roughly 26,000 light-years from the galactic center. That is about halfway out from the middle. In our beach model, that puts our grain of sand, our sun, somewhere in the middle of the beach. Not at the shoreline, not at the dunes. Somewhere in the open, unremarkable, middle. One grain. In the middle of a 1,000-meter beach. Now, where is Earth? The Earth orbits the Sun at a distance of about 150 million kilometers. In our beach model, scaled down to fit the entire galaxy into 1 kilometer, that distance, 150 million kilometers, becomes approximately 0.001 millimeters. That is 1/1000th of a millimeter. That is smaller than the wavelength of visible light. You cannot see it with the naked eye. You could not see it under a magnifying glass. You would need a microscope to even begin to locate it. Earth, in this model, does not appear. It vanishes. It is not a smaller grain of sand. It is not a speck of dust. It is something so far below the threshold of visible scale that it simply does not exist at the resolution of the beach. Pause here, because this is the gut punch fact. This is the one you should sit with. Every mountain range on Earth, every ocean, every city, every war that was ever fought, every love story that ended well, and every one that didn't. Every book ever written, every song ever sung, every meal ever cooked for someone who was hungry, all of it. The entire accumulated history of everything that has ever happened on this world is located at a point in this model that is smaller than the smallest thing you can see. We are not a grain of sand on this beach. We are a feature so small that the beach doesn't register us. The beach doesn't know we're here. And now we leave the beach. Because the Milky Way, our beach is not alone. The nearest major galaxy to ours is called Andromeda. It is 2.537 million light-years away. In our beach model, if our entire galaxy is 1 kilometer long, Andromeda is 2,537 kilometers away. That is roughly the distance from London to Moscow. Our beach ends, and then you drive for 2 days, and then another beach begins. Between those two beaches, there is nothing. No stars, no light, just cold, expanding space. And Andromeda is the closest one. There are 2 trillion more, and they are spread across a sphere of space 93 billion light-years in diameter. In our beach model, where 1 kilometer equals 1 galaxy, the observable universe would be a volume of beach larger than the entire planet Earth. Not the Earth's surface. The entire volume of the planet, solid rock and molten core and all, filled to the brim with sand. And each grain of sand in that volume is not a star. Each grain is an entire galaxy, a beach unto itself. Hundreds of billions of stars per grain. The universe does not care about scale. It simply is this large. It was always this large. It will continue being this large, regardless of whether any mind ever comprehends it. Here is where the numbers break in a different direction. Light, the fastest thing in the universe. The absolute speed limit of physical reality travels at 299,792 kilometers per second. In 1 second, light travels the distance you would cover in 7.5 trips around the Earth. It is incomprehensibly fast by any standard we can apply to daily life. And yet, the light from the most distant galaxies we can observe has been traveling for 13.8 billion years just to reach us. Some of those galaxies no longer exist. They burned out, collided, or collapsed long before the Earth had even formed. We are seeing ghosts. We are looking at light that started its journey before the sun existed. Before this solar system was a cloud of gas. Before there was an Earth to stand on and look up from. The universe is not just large in space. It is large in time. And we exist in an almost invisibly thin sliver of both. Which brings us to the question you should be asking right now. If we are this small, if we are smaller than the smallest visible feature on a beach that is itself one small beach among a volume of beaches the size of a planet, then what are we doing here? What does it mean that something this small, this cosmically brief, became aware of its own smallness? Is that an accident? Or is it the most astonishing thing in the known universe? Here is what the universe is, as best as science can tell us. About 13.8 billion years ago, everything that exists, all of space, all of time, all of matter and energy was compressed into a state so dense and so hot that our physics breaks down trying to describe it. Then, it expanded, not into space, but with space. Space itself grew. It is still growing now, in every direction, carrying galaxies apart from each other like raisins in a rising loaf of bread. For the first few 100 million years, there were no stars. There was only hydrogen and helium, drifting in the dark. Then gravity did what gravity does. It pulled. Clouds collapsed into spheres, pressure built, hydrogen fused into helium, and the first stars lit up. They burned bright and fast and died violently, scattering heavier elements, carbon, oxygen, iron, calcium, across space in tremendous explosions. Those scattered atoms drifted, gathered again, formed new clouds, new stars, new planets. Some of those atoms are in you right now. The calcium in your bones was forged in a star that died before the sun was born. The iron in your blood was scattered by a supernova explosion that happened billions of years before the Earth existed. The oxygen you are breathing this moment was fused in stellar cores, blown out into space, caught by a young planet's gravity, and has been cycling through living things for billions of years. You are not on Earth looking up at the stars. You are made of the stars. Looking back, this is not poetry. It is nuclear physics. It is astrophysics. It is a straightforward description of where the atoms in your body came from. And the description is this: extraordinary. And here is the thing that is hardest to hold in your mind. Out of all the matter in the observable universe, all the gas clouds, all the rock, all the dark matter, we cannot even see. Only a tiny fraction is arranged into something complex enough to think. Only a fraction of that fraction is arranged into something complex enough to be curious. Only a fraction of that is arranged into something that can look at the size of the universe and feel something about it. We know of exactly one place where this has happened. One pale blue dot, as Carl Sagan called it. One planet, orbiting one ordinary star, in the unremarkable middle of one spiral galaxy among 2 trillion. One place, as far as we currently know, where the universe became conscious of itself. That might change. We might find others. We hope to. But right now, tonight, this is the only place we know of where matter looked up and asked, "How big is this?" And the answer came back, "Bigger than you can feel. Bigger than your fear. Bigger than your ambition. Bigger than your grief. Bigger than everything you have built and everything you hope to build. Bigger than the history of your species and the projected future of your son." And yet, you still felt something when you picked up that handful of sand. You still felt the weight of it, the scratch of it, the way it shifts between your fingers and falls. You felt something small and specific and yours. That feeling, that tiny, local, particular experience of holding sand and thinking about stars is not made small by the universe's size. It is made miraculous by it. Because somehow, out of all that cold and dark and distance, something small enough to hold sand in its hand also became large enough to understand the scale of what surrounds it. The universe is not 93 billion light years across and also interested in you. It is not on your side. It does not know your name or care about your plans. The universe has no preference for whether you exist or don't. It is the most indifferent thing that has ever existed. And still, here you are, standing on a grain of sand, in a beach made of beaches. thinking about how large it all is. There is no word for what that means. There is only the feeling of it. The silence, after you put the sand down. The sky still above you. The same sky it always was. Except now you know it goes on and on and on. In every direction. Forever. Without any edge. Without any wall. Without any place where it finally stops and something else begins. It just goes. And somewhere in the middle of all that going, for reasons science is still working out, something small woke up and noticed. That was you. That is still you.